Hey everyone, today on People Now, Alex Trebek gets choked up when a contestant gives him a surprise message during an episode of Jeopardy.
Hilaria Baldwin shares heartbreaking news of another miscarriage amid ongoing fertility struggles. We'll tell you what she's saying.
Westworld star Evan Rachel Wood gives us a rare hint about Aaron Paul's new character in the show's upcoming season.
Miranda Lambert brings Carrie Underwood to tears with her heartfelt praise.
Plus, another country queen, Carly Pearce, tells us about her dream collab with two of her country star BFFs and her new music.
Closer to you. It's all today, live on People Now. Let's go.
All right, happy Tuesday, everybody. Welcome to People Now. Here we go. Excited. Disney Plus has officially launched. Is that why we're clapping? Maybe. What better way to celebrate Disney Plus launching than binge watching some of their new shows and our favorite classic Disney Channel series as well.
There's some good ones. Some of the favorites being brought back are Lizzie McGuire, Boy Meets World, Hannah Montana, and That's So Raven. So we want to know which one you are most excited to watch. Vote in our People poll, or if your favorite didn't make our list, tweet us with the hashtag PeopleNow.
You know,
Lizzie McGuire, I mean, I was really on that train.
That's So Raven. I remember I worked at, here's my story, right?
Okay.
I worked on the soundstage on the lot where her show had been. And like 2 years after the show was off, she still was getting like full bins of mail from fans.
Wow.
There was like a whole storage area where it's just like, yeah, we just keep it here. And it's just like handwritten notes to Raven. Anyway.
That's a nice little
Fast
story.
fact, guys. Hope you tuck that one away, pull it out of the party. We're going to check in on all of that stuff a little later, see what you're thinking about these new shows. But for now, here's what you need to know and what's trending today, starting with this. What is a very emotional moment on Jeopardy? It's a Jeopardy pun, guys. All right, on Monday night's episode, contestant Drew Vigar got host Alex Trebek choked up with his final Jeopardy answer. Watch this.
Drew, you're smiling. I like that. Let's take a look at your response. Did you come up with the right one? No? What is we love you, Alex? That's very kind. Thank you. Cost you $19.95. You're left with $5. Okay.
I gotta tell you, I watched that last night over and over and was welling up. Like, it was really emotional.
Yeah, I know.
Such a simple moment, but it was a really emotional moment.
It's kind of hard to watch, too.
Yeah, and Gar was happy to use the moving message as his last answer of the night, saying on Twitter, quote, "I'm just very grateful I got the opportunity to say what I know everyone was thinking, sending all the love, hashtag we love you, Alex." The sweet message comes as Trebek continues to battle pancreatic cancer, even revealing back in October that there could be a point in the not too distant future when he might have to step away from the game show. He told Canada's CTV News, quote, "I will keep doing it as long as my skills do not diminish," and they have started to diminish. I'm sure there are observant members of the television audience that notice also, but they're forgiving. That was his quote, and he went on to add, "There will come a point when fans and producers will no longer be able to say it's okay." Trebek was diagnosed with the cancer in March. Earlier this month, 18-year-old Jeopardy winner Avi Gupta announced on Twitter that he would be donating a portion of his $100,000 winnings to the Knight Cancer Institute. He said in part, quote, "I was inspired to give by Alex Trebek, someone who I have looked up to my whole life. It was a dream come true earlier this year to finally join him on the Jeopardy stage." All right, now we move on to this. Hilaria Baldwin has tragically suffered another miscarriage. The mother of four shared the heartbreaking news on Monday, shortly after attending her 20-week scan with her doctors, and admitted that she was not expecting the sad outcome when she headed to her appointment earlier in the day. Writing on Instagram, quote, "We are very sad to share that today we learned that our baby passed away at 4 months. We also want you to know that even though we are not okay right now, we will be. We are so lucky with our 4 healthy babies." Hilaria goes on to explain how she's devastated and was not expecting this outcome when going into the scan. She's understandably in shock, posting this video with her 6-year-old daughter, Carmen. Watch.
"Thank you for saying that you're sorry. Mommy's sad."
Well, Hilaria explained in her post, quote, "I told her that this baby isn't going to come after all, but we will try very hard to give her a little sister another time." The 35-year-old mother of 4 has been open about her fertility struggles. The latest heartbreak follows a tough year for Hilaria and her husband, Alec, who've been trying for a 5th child. She last suffered a miscarriage just 7 months ago. At the time, Hilaria said that she was choosing to speak out about the loss in hopes of encouraging people to keep talking about struggles of conceiving that so many often face. She said, quote, "I always promised myself that if I were to get pregnant again, I would share the news with you guys pretty early, even if that means suffering a public loss. I've always been so open with you all about my family, fitness, pregnancies, and I don't want to keep this from you just because it isn't as positive and shiny as the rest." Hilaria added, "I think it's important to show the truth because my job is to help people by being real and open. Furthermore, I have no shame or embarrassment with this experience. I want to be a part of the effort to normalize miscarriage and remove the stigma from it. We, of course, wish her and the family all the best. Selena Gomez is opening up about going through her health issues in the public eye, revealing that people were attacking her over her lupus weight gain and adding that it really messed her up. During a recent interview on her friend Raquel Stevens' video podcast, Giving Back Generation, Gomez opened up about dealing with weight fluctuation after her diagnosis and the negative comments that she received about her body on social media. Gomez explained that the combination of her lupus, the medication that she takes, and various other health factors regularly affects her weight, even down to a monthly basis. She revealed that she started noticing people were attacking her for her weight fluctuations, saying, quote, "That got to me big time." However, Gomez added that she's now very happy with living her life and doesn't spend much time thinking about social media anymore, explaining, quote, "I don't care to expose myself to everyone and hear what they have to say about it." Actually, it sounds like a really smart move. In September of 2017, the singer announced that she had undergone a kidney transplant due to complications from lupus. Gomez announced her lupus diagnosis in October of 2015. Now, last week, Gomez earned her first #1 on the Billboard Hot 100 chart with her vulnerable new song, "Lose You to Love Me," and we wish her the best with her health. Watch this.
It's about discovering who you are. You know, it's following the theme of the first one. It's not about the Prince Charming. It's about you, and it's about your strength and finding your inner power.
Love
so
that.
it's a wonderful metaphor for life, and that's what Disney is so good at doing through these amazing, fantastical stories. And this one just fits so perfectly with the rest.
PeopleTV's Lola Oganaike and I chatted with actress Evan Rachel Wood at the world premiere of Frozen 2. And Evan is a newcomer to the franchise and shared that she's often drawn to roles with strong female storylines, much like her role as Dolores in HBO's Westworld. And there's a new character about to enter the park or outside the park, depending on what timeline we're on. Aaron Paul is set to join the cast of Westworld, might be bringing a bit of conflict.
I really can't say anything, but his character's really going to challenge Dolores and her ideas about humanity, and that's really all I can say.
We'll see how that plays out. Besides taking on roles with strong female voices, Evan uses her own voice quite powerfully. She's been open about surviving a past abusive relationship and revealed how she resorted to self-harm and survived a suicide attempt. She's also been open about her bisexuality, all in hopes of helping others. And she shared with us how things have changed after she spoke out.
You know, it's very surreal. It's sort of an out-of-body experience. I don't feel that different, but there is a sense of relief. And really the thing that makes me happy is when I get other people's reactions to my story and it's similar to theirs, and they find out that they're not alone, and, you know, it gets people talking and having
Have there been
conversations.
fans' reactions that maybe have stuck out to you, like any interactions or feedback?
You know, I have a band and we sing around town every now and then. I actually get a lot of people coming up to me after the show that just want to hug and they just need to be seen and just shed a few tears, and that's been the most meaningful, I think.
Yeah, it was really great to hear from her and kind of being honest about all those revelations.
She's very open about it.
You can hear more of Evan Rachel Wood as Elsa and Anna's mother, Queenie Dunna, in Frozen 2 when it storms into theaters Friday, November 22nd. We'll have even more from the Frozen 2 premiere later on in the show with one little girl who had her wish granted and met the film's biggest stars. Andrea, you've got more for us in Star Treks.
Yes, I do. We are kicking off Star Treks today with a little inside info on one of our favorite Star Wars heroines. Daisy Ridley is gearing up for the final installment of the Star Wars trilogy, The Rise of Skywalker. She opened up about this and so much more as the cover star in Marie Claire's holiday issue. When talking about the upcoming film, she tells the outlet, quote, "It's the first time I filmed more confident because I feel like there was nothing else I could have done." And she goes on to say, "The third one for me was the best. It's a big film for everyone. I did all of the emotions. I did frowns, I did smiles. It was the sort of biggest breath," adding, "It's just really epic." Well, we can't wait to see it. I'm very excited about this. The actress also discusses some of the issues she's had adjusting to life in the spotlight. She explains that she's a very introverted person, so her new level of fame took a toll on her and on her family. Back in 2017, she decided to go to therapy to help herself get a handle on dealing with it all, and she says it has helped immensely. Now, it should come as no surprise that Ridley played coy when asked about the rock on her ring finger. There have been rumors flying that she's engaged to actor Tom Bateman, but all she would say is, quote, "The thing is, I've never talked about my personal life, so I won't talk about it now. I'm so aware of how much information about my life is out there." So Daisy says that's the one thing she doesn't want to talk about. Well, we're happy if she's happy. And with her time in the Star Wars universe coming to an end, the actress reveals that she's definitely felt moments of anxiety, saying in part, "When we wrapped, I was like, oh my God, because that's been my structure that I work around. Now I'm like, it's back to being a jobbing actor." Well, we have a feeling it's going to work out just fine for her. I think she'll book more work. All right, Miranda Lambert's kind, supportive words bring tears to Carrie Underwood's eyes. Carrie is set to co-host the Country Music Association Awards this Wednesday, her 12th time filling that role. She'll be joined by country icons Reba McEntire and Dolly Parton to MC the show. On top of hosting, Carrie is also nominated for Entertainer of the Year, the only female performer included in that category. A woman hasn't won that title since Taylor Swift back in 2011, which is really crazy, actually. On an episode of The Ty Bentley Show, Carrie spoke about the bond between women and country music, and the radio host played Carrie a clip of Miranda Lambert speaking out about why Carrie deserves this year's CMA Award for Entertainer of the Year. Miranda saying this: watching Carrie host the CMA's Pregnant and also do the Sunday Night Football campaign and also have a brand and also work with charity and be a wife and be a mother and then host with 2 legendary country artists, I just know how much work that is. Now, Carrie was visibly moved by Miranda's comments and paid the kindness forward, saying Miranda has, quote, always been just super supportive. She also went on to explain that her nomination inherently means more than just recognition for her work alone, saying it's a nomination for all of us. And Carrie admits to being kind of emotional about the whole thing. Now, Carrie recently sent birthday wishes to Miranda on Instagram, captioning a post of the two together. Gonna raise my glass to you and all the good times we've shared over the years. Here's to many more. I think their friendship is so sweet.
Yeah. Now,
Carrie, who's up against Garth Brooks, Eric Church, Chris Stapleton, and Keith Urban for Entertainer of the Year, said she feels women need more opportunities to truly shine in the business. She says this: we have so much talent, we just need some more open doors. And reflecting on the current state of the country music world, Carrie said the female artists of the genre are all in it together. We are here for the girl power. All right, Sean Spicer's Dancing with the Stars days are over. On Monday night, the former White House press secretary was sent home after landing in the bottom against fellow contestant Lauren Elena. Now, prior to his elimination, President Trump asked his Twitter followers to vote for Sean in a since-deleted tweet, reading in part, he's a great and very loyal guy who's working very hard all the way with Sean. Trump later celebrated Sean's run on the series, tweeting on Tuesday morning, a great try by Sean Spicer, we are all proud of you. Sean replied to that tweet, saying in part, I can't begin to express how much your continued support has meant. Now, after the elimination, Sean made sure to thank both of his dancing pros, Lindsay Arnold and Jenna Johnson, who stepped in when Lindsay missed the last 2 weeks of competition due to the unexpected death of her mother-in-law. Sean tells people he's both relieved in a way and somewhat disappointed to be going home, but he admits, quote, the judges made the right decision. And those are your Star Tracks for today.
All right, stay with us. We've got country star Carly Pearce chatting about her new album, writing songs about exes, life as a newlywed, and a lot more. Stick around for that. Plus, these special kids got the chance of a lifetime to meet some of their heroes at the Frozen 2 premiere. We're catching up with one of them to hear how it all came together. That's in just a bit.
All right, we've been asking you to vote on which classic series you can't wait to watch on Disney Plus in our People poll. Let's take a look. I'm thinking, Lizzie McGuire. That was the one I watched the most of.
I'm on the Boy Meets World train too, though. So we'll see.
It's kind of cool to go back and watch the originals, right? And I mean, there's a lot of reboots now, but to actually watch those.
That'll be a lot of fun, and I think it's a really smart move on their part, right? To pull people to that platform. Keep voting, guys, but for now, we're going to move on to this. The new Apple TV Plus drama, Truth Be Told, premieres December 6th. This cast star-studded: Octavia Spencer, Aaron Paul, Lizzie Kaplan, Elizabeth Perkins.
Yeah, when we sat down with the cast, we had an off-topic question for Elizabeth, who starred in the first 5 seasons of Weeds. So what does she think about news that a sequel series is in development at Starz, with Mary Louise Parker on board playing main character Nancy Botwin once again? Watch this.
They should hire me because I was Celia Hodes and I was really good.
So that's
I second that.
So it's interesting you say that. I was going to ask you, I know on Watch What Happens Live last year, you said you wanted to make another appearance before the end.
Sure. Because they never, all of a sudden, like, I wasn't on the show anymore, and like everyone like wanted to see me like take a bullet in the head, you know, or get you know, like throw me off a bridge, do something really. She deserved like a really big death.
So if they were open to it, like you would want like a main role, like a big role in this new one?
Sure, why not? It was one of my favorite characters to play. And if not, like at least like, you know, send me out really well. Like have Nancy run over me with a car or something.
She's so funny. We'll have more from our chat with the cast of Truth Be Told on People Now before the show premieres on Apple TV Plus December 6th. So tune back for that.
All right, the Frozen 2 world premiere was a huge event last week in LA. So many fans dressing up as Anna and Elsa, getting in on that once-in-a-lifetime celebration. Truly a dream come true for Isabel Cruz and Ariana Procarpio, thanks to the Kids Wish Network, who sent the girls to the red carpet to meet the cast and the crew of Frozen 2.
So fun. Isabel Cruz and her grandmother, Janice Atkinson, are joining us now from Winston, Georgia, to talk about their amazing trip to the premiere. Ladies, thank you so much for taking the time to talk to us. Hello. How's it going?
Hello. Great.
Yeah, Isabel, let's start with you. Who's your favorite character from Frozen 2?
Olaf.
Olaf, yeah. Why do you love Olaf?
Because he says this. I don't know if we're in mortal danger, and then he gets in mortal danger, and he sees the horse, and then he gets in mortal danger, and it's like.
Isabel, I can hear your parakeets. What are your parakeets' names?
Ricky and Lucy.
Nice names.
We gotta tell them we said hi after this. But Isabel, I was there at that premiere. I saw you meeting Kristen Bell and Idina Menzel and all the stars who voiced the characters from Frozen 2. I heard that Josh Gad, who is the voice of Olaf, was pretty funny with what he said to you. What did he say to you? Do you remember?
No. This is what I said to him.
Oh, you were the one making the joke. What'd you say?
I said, hey, I'll show you in person. And then he said, yeah. And then I said, do me a favor, grab my butt, pick my butt up and round it on my butt. That's what I mean. Not necessarily like that.
Like Olaf does. That makes sense. I see what you're saying.
Janice, you were also there. You were along for the ride as well. What was the standout moment for you with the stars of the movie?
Just how nice the actors and actresses were. They dressed in beautiful dresses and got down on the floor and talked to the girls, and just had conversation with them. How friendly they were. That's what shocked me the most.
Yeah. And Janice, it must have been so great for you to see Isabel having this kind of the time of her life there, interacting with those stars. How did that moment feel to you from your perspective?
It's something that she'll remember for a lifetime because she's at that age and she worships Olaf. He's like her favorite. So she'd never seen him in real life. It's a real life people, actors. So to see the cartoon character, that was interesting. And then just to meet the ladies.
Janice, let's talk about this. You worked with the Kids Wish Network to go to that premiere. How did that all come about?
Some friends of mine in church called the Wish Network and recommended Isabel for a wish. And they came through and provided this wonderful trip for us. But it was the ladies at my church called and recommended us.
Oh, that's great.
Wow. And Janice, Isabel's been through a lot. Can you tell us about her and some of the challenges she's had to overcome?
Well, she was born to a mother who was 15 years old, and but she did finish school. But her mom was young, and Isabel was born with spina bifida and myelomeningocele hydrocephalus, which she has a shunt. And the life expectancy on that is not too long. Well, Sean ain't been around too long, so technology, we hope, will change one day. But the operations that she's had to correct her feet. She's born with double club feet. We just don't really consider them challenges. It's just every day for us, and life is normal.
Yeah. Janice, for you, what's your advice for other families that might be going through similar things, have similar challenges to what you all have gone through as a family?
Just live each day as it goes. Just live each day, because this is exciting for her, because I don't think she'll ever get this opportunity ever again. Not where we live, in the country.
Yeah.
Seems like you had an amazing time. Isabel and Janice, thank you so much for sharing your story with us. We're so happy you had a blast at the Frozen 2 premiere. All the best to you and your family.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks to Disney, y'all. That was wonderful. It really was. They put on a show. A good time. Didn't they, Isabel?
Bernie is my mom's uncle, and we had all of our money in him and lost it all, just like the rest of my family and tons of other victims, completely blindsided.
Jes Eckstrom is a great example of turning dark circumstances into bright ones. Her great uncle, former investment advisor Bernie Madoff, is currently serving a 150-year prison sentence after he was found guilty of stealing billions of dollars from investors as part of the largest Ponzi scheme in history.
Jes has penned a new book. It's titled Chasing the Bright Side, where she shares how her family worked to move past her great uncle's crimes and how overcoming such obstacles changed her perspective on what is important.
I was a senior in high school, so I'll admit, some of the magnitude hasn't hit me until years later, where I can't believe how resilient my family was. I mean, my grandparents, they lost their entire retirement, and a few weeks later, after Bernie went under, they started a cab driving company. And
it's a sweet story.
It's amazing. And they just became entrepreneurs just like that in their 80s. And so it's now, over 10 years later, looking at this, I can finally connect the dots how this like one single experience just changed the trajectory for all of us. And sometimes we want to like search for silver linings immediately, but we couldn't see that then. It wasn't like this moment where we're like, seize the day and you wake up and everything's fine. But now I can see that. It was just like something that you feel, oh, that'll never happen to me when you see it in the news. And then when things like that do happen and you realize you're not immune to anything, it kind of gives you this new outlook on life where you're like, if anything could happen, we could either live, in the fear of the unknown or the excitement of possibility. And optimism and chasing the bright side is about choosing to live in the excitement of possibility.
And for Jes and her family, anything really was possible. The course of events that had happened not only changed their outlook, but also lit a fire in her to help others.
I think like when that happened, it really redefined what the American dream is for all of us. It's like, what are we all aiming for? And for me, that kind of started making me think about, how do I want to leave my mark? Like, what do I want to work for? And so when I got to college, I interned at the Make-A-Wish Foundation. And then that was when I would see all these kids that were losing their hair to chemotherapy, and they'd be offered a wig or they'd be given a hat. And a lot of them weren't really concerned with covering up their heads. They just wanted something to feel good about themselves, so they would wear headbands. And no one was providing headbands to these kids. So I started a company called Headbands of Hope, and for every headband sold, we donate one to a child with cancer. I remember I got this letter, and I keep this file on my computer of all the letters and pictures that we get, so whenever I'm having a rough day, I can just open it up. But I remember getting this letter from this mom whose daughter was in remission, and she was supposed to be starting kindergarten, and she didn't want to go to school because she was thinking that like everyone would think that she was a boy because her hair hadn't grown back yet. And then she went in for her checkup, and she was given a headband of hope that day that the hospital staff had. And when she got home from school, she like laid out her outfit for kindergarten. She laid out all of her backpack and school supplies and was like, Mom, when do I get to go to kindergarten? And to think that this like one small accessory made such a big impact on this girl's confidence, I hope that Headbands of Hope also shows people that you don't have to do the big gestures of giving. We don't have to be able to like fund a rainforest in order to give back. Just do the small things that are right in front of you, because it can make a big difference.
And through her book, Chasing the Bright Side, Jes hopes to inspire others to do just that, make a big difference.
This book is what I needed to hear when I was going through a lot. And I think that with social media, we paint this picture that is just the highlight reel of our lives. And I think that because I wasn't hearing people's real stories of the A to B, the messy middle, the times when they were completely blindsided, I felt like anytime I messed up or anytime something crazy happened to me, that it was just me. And so I want Chasing the Bright Side to be the real, transparent A to B, had an idea, made it work, was blindsided by this scandal when I was in high school, and I'm still here. And this is all just a part of my story. And it's not about what happens to us, it's what we do next and how we respond.
Yeah, she has such a great outlook on all of this. Now, on a lighter note, really fun story here. Jes shared with me that when she was recording the audio for Chasing the Bright Side, she met a big country star and got pretty starstruck.
I was recording my audiobook in Nashville, and it was in this music studio. And I mean, if they had asked me before, like, who would be the one country artist that came in here who would like stop you dead in your tracks, I would have said Chris Stapleton. And of course, he walked in recording something, and I tried to play my cool, but I did not.
Yeah, that's are you a big country music fan?
Yeah, I am. And it's funny because, you know, we live in an Airstream, and I have a CD player, and we own one CD, and it's Chris Stapleton's Traveler. Oh. So it was, and I told him that, again, I probably didn't play it.
Yeah. And while Jes reveals she's not in touch with her Uncle Bernie while he serves the rest of his life in prison, she is in contact with Bernie's wife, her Aunt Ruth.
Ruth is incredible, and we love her. She has a sense of humor through it all, and so she's been great.
Yeah, really inspiring to hear how Jes and her family, they were able to turn their lives around. Bernie Madoff hurt so many people. You kind of hope that this many, his many victims have been able to come through this and are on the other side of it as well.
Yes, really interesting stuff. You can read more about Jes and her family's story in her new book, Chasing the Bright Side. It's out now.
That's Closer to You. It's the lead single of Carly Pearce's recently announced self-titled sophomore album. It drops on Valentine's Day 2020.
We sat down with the country star, who revealed why she can't wait for fans to hear it.
I think I'm just really excited. I feel like this body of work is the most me thing that people have ever heard or are going to hear. So much has happened to me in the last few years, and country music fans have given my music a place and given me the confidence that they want to hear what I have to say.
And it's Valentine's Day
yes,
that comes out, right?
Yeah.
So the love theme is there.
Yeah.
Talk about that and just kind of how it plays out and how you're excited to, I don't know, I guess get the love tunes out.
I think just as a whole, it's so awesome to be able to release it on the Day of Love, just because that is kind of the heartbeat of what has made me feel so great over the last few years. But just know, yes, there are a lot of love songs on there, but there are those Carly Pearce heartbreak songs, I promise.
Okay.
The album is self-titled.
Yes.
Do you think that it represents who you are more than your last album?
I think it does. I think I know that I'm grateful that I waited to make this second one my self-titled, because I do feel like over the last few years, I've really become exactly who I'm supposed to be and just feel more myself than ever.
What sides of you are we going to see this time that we didn't see in your previous music?
I think just more confidence, happier, not as soul-searching. I think I was just sad and searching a lot on that first record, but so much has come to fruition and made me understand why everything happens for a reason.
Yeah, things a little more concrete,
Yeah.
a little more set up for life.
Yeah.
There's a behind-the-song video just came out of your newest single, I Hope You're Happy Now, with Lee Brice, addressing an ex, right? And someone that you're kind of apologizing to in some way.
I feel like it was the last part of the closing chapter of kind of me pre-finding my husband. And we all go through messy breakups, and I've been heartbroken before, but in this particular situation, hearts don't always break even. And I felt like it was important to be able to be vulnerable yet again in a different way, and just say I'm sorry to this person that maybe I fell out of love with before I told him.
Has he heard the song?
I'm sure.
Okay, but it wasn't something that you leaked to him first, like, hey, by the way, this is coming out.
No,
Okay.
and I had to be kind of careful with this one. You know, I exploited my ex that broke my heart.
I remember every little thing.
Hey, thanks for every little thing, because now I get to do what I want to do. But this one's a little bit different, and I'm not trying to rub it in his face, but I'm also from afar. I mean, this is my story, and it's kind of a beautiful way of being able to say, wherever he is, he knows I'm sorry.
Yeah.
And he probably appreciates the apology.
I think he does.
Did the other ex ever reach out?
No, he blocked me. I was like, thanks, yeah. But you know what? He was a country music fan, and I like to say he was like my little, I was his nightmare every time he got in his car.
Turned on the radio.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Always here.
It probably fires you up too.
Oh, I love it.
That's like the next level of for most normal people it'd be like Instagram posts or something like, I know he's watching.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I know you hear me every
Oh,
day.
I know you hear me. I know you see me. Revenge, thanks.
Not bitter about it. It's fine.
No.
Yeah, because obviously things are working out for you. You've been teasing that you and your husband, Michael Ray, are collabing on this album.
Yes.
Is there going to be a duet?
Yes, there is a duet. I did not think that it was right to put Michael as the ex-boyfriend on I Hope You're Happy Now, so I'm saving a much sweeter song for him on the record. But we're really excited.
That makes a lot of sense.
What is that going to sound like? What part of your relationship is going to be shown?
I wanted to make sure, because I feel like we're going to have a career of being able to make music together, so I wanted this to kind of be just the first stages of more us dating and falling in love. So that's kind of what you're going to hear on this first song.
So on the tour, can fans expect to hear new songs as well as the favorites?
Yes. So right now I'm on my own just headlining club tour, and I'm getting to show a few songs from the new album. But as we start touring and gearing up next year, and just as some of the music starts to come out and once the record's out, I'm going to be able to share so many of the new songs.
Yeah.
I am so ready for that.
Yeah, and you've been playing Hearts Going Out of Its Mind, and it won't always be like for, I don't know, last few months while on tour. Are those definitely going to be on the album as well, or is that kind of a separate thing?
They are going to be on the album.
Okay. What's special about those two songs for you?
Oh gosh, Hearts Going Out of Its Mind is one that I wrote literally the week after I met Michael, or not met him, but started dating him, and so that'll forever have like just a special place in my heart, because I remember going into that write and just being like completely starry-eyed.
So
And then-
yeah, like the fresh feeling, the fresh phase.
But I knew he was it. And I remember writing that song kind of about that feeling. And then It Won't Always Be Like This is the most personal song I've ever written, and it's totally my story, and just understanding that life takes us on a journey and you figure it out later, and the good and bad in life, it won't always be like this.
You worked with producer Busby again on this album, who sadly passed away this summer. Why is it so special to you that now people are going to hear this music that you collabed on with him?
Busby signed me 5 years ago. Was the first person to really take a chance on me after being in Nashville for a lot of years with a lot of no's. And he was family. This record is the last record that he finished, and I think that is so special for me, and it's my duty to keep his music alive and keep his legacy alive. He wrote every little thing with me. And these songs, we had such a great time in the studio not knowing what was going on with him, and I'm just really proud. And it's interesting, some of the moments that I now am recalling of just him being really emotional with just being able to relate to a lot of the songs that are on the record in different ways. And I know that he was really proud of this record, and he was just proud for me to get it out. So I'm dedicating the record to him.
And we've heard from so many artists. He just seems to have left such an incredible impact and this huge hole in the industry.
He did, and I think, I speak for Marin, I speak for myself, I speak for Keith Urban. We've all chatted, and it's so bittersweet to be able to think that his music will live on in all of us, in the music that he created with us, and he was a very special guy.
Yeah. All right, switching gears, you're nominated for New Artist of the Year for the CMA Awards.
Congrats.
Congratulations. How are you feeling? Are you nervous?
Whatever happens, the fact that I get to say that this year I'm ending the year that was such a monumental year for me, being able to go to an award show that I watched my entire life and say that I'm nominated for an award that I've always just looked at, because I feel like that group, those 5 people, are really just the next generation of country music.
Yeah.
So I'm just excited. I don't care what happens.
When you get that nomination, does it just feel like this real breakthrough moment? Like, do you kind of reassess a little bit?
I think it's validation that the industry views you as somebody that is important to our genre, which for me, like, I want to be a country artist, a purist, like that is what I want to do. So the fact that they feel that I'm worthy of that makes you just, I think, want to push yourself to be even more validating to them.
Maren Morris and Kelsey Ballerini also nominated.
Yeah.
I just dream of like a big collab between the 3 of you. Is it happening or what?
We've talked about it for sure. I mean, we always joke, the trio, Dolly and Emmylou Harris and Linda Ronstadt, we would love to recreate that one day.
Ooh, that would be great.
Yeah, those girls are so talented. It'll happen.
What does a girls' night look like with the 3 of you if you ever have time to get together?
We've had them.
Yeah.
A lot of wine and a lot of tequila.
Ooh, that's a dangerous combo.
Those girls drink tequila. I can't do it.
Oh,
but I'll
okay.
drink as much wine as they drink tequila.
Oh, okay.
Kind
of balances
More
it.
wine girl.
Yeah.
I love them. It's just a lot of sharing stories. They gave me a lot of marriage advice when they first heard that I really felt like Michael was going to be my husband. And I remember Marin talking about wanting to get pregnant this year. And she is.
Yeah.
And it's just like this sisterhood where the 3 of us know what each other's going through more than anybody else. And I look at them as people that I'm coming up behind, that I admire, and I look to them for advice on things. And it's a fun little group.
What's the best piece of marriage advice they gave you?
To not go longer than 2 weeks without seeing each other, which you don't think is a big deal, but it is a big deal. I mean, just in our dating and being engaged, like, and it's easy just with the schedules. We all, which is funny, we're all married to artists. I don't know why we all did that. But it's really hard to juggle just one person's schedule, let alone 2 completely different careers.
We've been talking about your wedding for a while because it was so magical and cool.
Don't want to say that we're oddly obsessed with it.
Yeah, we're very obsessed with it. Love the dress.
okay,
When you think back on the night, what was the most magical part about the night?
I picked the venue. Michael and I picked the venue for the outdoor space. And the morning of, literally, it had been beautiful in Nashville for the whole week. And then it decided to not just sprinkle, it downpoured.
Yeah.
And honestly, where we ended up getting married on the property was like this old barn. It had a tin roof in the rain. That was like the most memorable thing for me. It was so beautiful in there, so intimate, so romantic. And was completely not what I thought for the last 9 months of planning that I was going to have, but it made it so special.
1 month in, biggest difference between married life and pre-married life?
I feel like when we got engaged, and I felt this as well, but I think I just feel it a little bit deeper. Like, you're promising forever to this person, and you don't think, like, we live together and all that stuff, so nothing really changed, but there is like a true bond of intimacy that I feel like, and a connection that just deepens.
All right, kids in the future?
Of course, I have to have kids with
Big
these
family?
Too cute. Not big. I would say like 2. I would love, in my perfect world, to have like 1 of each and then be done.
And finally, he's tatted up. What's your favorite tattoo of his?
Oh, he has an old school microphone, and then he also has a penny for his grandmother that's really detailed and really amazing.
Got it. Thank you so much for covering everything.
I know.
Down to the
Like,
tattoos.
my life is done.
It was so nice to hear from her.
Yeah, kind of covered it all. They really, really loved that wedding. You know?
Yeah.
I mean, we did cover it at length, but it looked like such a fun time, and it was good. It's cool to hear her like afterwards, looking back on it, and how many
Yeah.
things she really loved about
And
it.
they made the most out of a rainy day.
Yeah,
you know?
literally.
Yeah,
like
really
a
did.
literal rainy day.
All right, everyone, you can pre-save Carly's new album on carlypierce.com right now. It drops Valentine's Day 2020.
All right, coming up tomorrow, it is a big day here at People. We're gonna have all the details on this year's Sexiest Man Alive cover star.
What's your guess, Jeremy?
Who will it be? I've got some guesses.
I don't even want to guess, because if I accidentally get it right, then I'm going to be accused of spoiling it.
I might know.
What? Do you know?
Maybe.
I don't know. I'm excited to know. Plus, Nicki Minaj's mom, Carol Mirage, is breaking down her new music and her daughter's new marriage. Who is it, Jeremy?
Obviously, I'm not saying, but we'll find out very soon. I honestly can't wait to talk about that, and the entire issue is always full of really fun stuff, so it's gonna be good.
All right, thanks for watching. Now, since this week is Sexiest Man Alive week here at People, we're kicking things off with the Impractical Jokers, who are doing a deep dive on what sexy really means. Check it out.
Hey, we are the Impractical Jokers, and this year we have been named People's Sexiest Man Alive.
Well, no. We're just in the issue.
Oh. No, ipso facto, we are part of the whole thing.
Yes. So today, we're gonna put our looks to the sexy test.
Yeah, we're gonna go into a focus group and ask some strangers what makes sexy and what doesn't.
Let's have a look.
So we represent People Magazine. Their Sexiest Man of the Year issue is coming out.
These are People Magazine's Men's Sexiest of the Past and some general people in New York. You know,
These are regular folks.
A regular array of
a
folks.
cross-section, if you will.
Yeah.
And we're trying to find out what characteristics you identify as being sexiest.
This is gonna blow up in their faces.
Think so? In what way?
We're dead sexy.
Oh, yeah, I know.
Let's say, for example, Hugh Jackman. Give me one word that comes to mind when you see the photo.
Composed and classy.
Classy.
I see eyes, like nice stare.
Facial structure, yeah.
In comparison, what word comes to mind, say, when you say this guy?
Timid. He looks like inside himself.
Like a little goofy.
Goofy. Goofy.
Every day.
Goofy.
How about what word comes to mind when you see this guy?
I think he's probably funny.
Funny.
He looks like a stand-up comedian or
Right.
something. Yeah.
Okay, so let's talk about physical features, what pops out at you. Okay, so when we look at Channing, what's something that pops out?
I mean, like arms.
Arms, muscles, okay? And then if we went with, let's say if we go with Dwayne.
Physique also.
Physique.
Yeah,
Okay,
strong.
what about this guy?
Chubby.
Chubby.
Schlubby.
Chubby, schlubby.
Chubby and schlubby.
If you take a look at Channing, right? This is a strong jawline, yeah, even with the angle.
Don't put me up next to Channing.
Also, look at how much less neck fat there is.
Right. What would you say that we would do with this guy that you
Open
got?
yourself.
Open yourself up.
Stay more confident.
Confidence for this guy.
We need to give him a whole trim and a... We can't see his neck. And then the hair doesn't help. He has like a... I'm not gonna look at that and go,
I have, okay, all right. Well, I mean,
Clooney actually kind of invented the messy kind of bedheady
Silver
kind of deal.
fox
Right, the
beddy.
silver fox kind of deal.
George is like, I'm here, I'm present and handsome. Oh, but my thing's a bit messy. I'm imperfect.
okay, I swoon over Clooney as well.
And we all do.
Who doesn't?
From Facts to Life on.
Yeah.
So he's kind of like you're having after-dinner drinks with him, as opposed to him, what is this after?
A TGI Fridays.
So this is the kind of look for a guy after a TGI Friday.
TGI Fridays.
That's me right here, Mr. Half Price Apps.
That's Applebee's.
Right, TGI Fridays, Applebee's, right.
Drive-thru.
Cheesecake Factory, and we've also heard drive-through meals.
I also just heard drive-through meals.
Now, let's talk about round face. Did he... Now, the hair here.
Why am I round face?
Because we were talking about hair earlier. What does that say to you?
He wants to have like French look.
Yeah,
But it's not really.
It's probably just because the cap.
The cap
is probably like.
It's not lose it.
Lose it, right?
the
Lose the
cap.
stupid hat.
Yeah.
I'm known for that cap, man.
Your signature look, they just crapped on it.
He's like, this is the thing I wear every day, and that's his like personality trait.
Let's put on my stupid hat and get out there with my round face, right? If you went to school with these people, what nickname would you give them?
What's the nickname you might give to Hugh Jackman?
Prince.
Prince.
We've heard Prince.
Prince.
Let's go upstairs here.
Like Loud Larry or something.
Loud, right? Looks like loud, obnoxious, burst into a room, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Are you guys having fun doing this? Because it looks like you are.
So let's talk about this fat bastard down here.
Timid Tom.
Timid Tom.
Timid Tom.
I'm loud and you're timid.
What the hell is going on here?
This is a fun thought experiment. What do you think he does for a living?
I don't want to say doctor, but like something.
Corporate.
What about this guy here?
He looked like he just got out of college, probably doing an internship.
Internship? He runs the whole show.
What do you think this guy does for a living?
An IT guy.
An IT guy.
IT.
Right, like a
Doesn't really have a life.
Has no life?
No life.
Doesn't have a life?
What do you think this guy does for a living? Maybe a plumber?
No, I feel like he's too soft for a plumber. He doesn't
I'm
have
too
like a
soft for a plumber? I'm too soft for a plumber.
No one really knows what he does.
Right,
Yeah. A bit of bartending, a bit of stand-up.
He doesn't do anything for a living.
No, a little bit of everything.
Yeah, but a whole lot of nothing.
Yeah.
Do we get to go out and talk about them?
No, we don't.
This is very one-sided.
Which one of these 6 guys is most likely to still live with his mother?
Timid.
Bottom right. What authority? You were right there. Yeah, you said it.
They all jumped. They're like, Timid Tom.
Which one of these guys do you think is most likely to be a virgin?
I feel like either Laughing Larry or Timid Tom.
Both these guys. Yeah, both these guys. Neither of them.
Why? Why am I likely to be a virgin?
So if the title was least sexiest man between round face and between timid Tom.
Laughing Larry.
Can't deal with this.
I'll take the tiny victory.
Now, it's funny. You still said he's the least sexiest, but you have the most to change about him.
Because we see potential.
There's potential here. No potential. Die alone.
Yes.
Right.
Brutal. This is brutal.
I'll tell you what, now we know what People magazine would consider not sexy. Boom, boom.
That's
Yes.
They agreed.
Thank you, People magazine, for the honor of doing this video. Thank you.